Bringing people and communities together on seclosounds.org.
Your listening station.
Hi, I'm Terry Sullivan and welcome to this week's Sticks Radio Show. Unbelievable, 1st of September. I mean, where's the year gone? Anyhow, today my guest is Chas Hodges. He's one half of Chas and Dave, but there's more to Chas than Chas and Dave, and we're going to be talking to him in a little while about his musical heritage, the bands he's played with, his career, his hobbies, etc. Everything about Chas Hodges. But let's start the show off with, one of the records that Chas and Dave have always been synonymous with. This is Rabbit.
Rabbit, 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 rabbit. You got a beautiful chin. You got beautiful skin. You got a beautiful face. You got taste. You got beautiful eyes. You got beautiful thighs. You got a lot without a doubt, but I'm thinking about blowing you out. 'Cause you won't stop talking. Why don't you give it a rest? You got more rabbit than Sainsbury's. It's time you got it off your chest. Now you was just the kind of girl to break my heart in two. I knew right off when I first kept my eyes on you. But how was I to know you'd been my ear holes too? With your incessant talking, you're becoming a pest. Rabbit, 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 rabbit. Now you're a wonderful girl. You got a wonderful smell. You got wonderful arms. You got charm. Wonderful air. We make a wonderful pair. Now I don't mind having a chat, but you have to keep giving it that. No, you won't stop talking. Why don't you give it a rest? You got more rabbit than Sainsbury's. It's time you got it off your chest. You were just the kind of girl to break my heart in two. I knew right off when I first clapped my eyes on you. But how was I to know you'd been my ear holes too? With your incessant talking, you're becoming a pest. Rabbit, 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 yep, yep, rabbit, yep, 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 rabbit, rabbit, bunny, jabber, rabbit, yep, rabbit, rabbit, bunny, rabbit, jabber, rabbit, rabbit, yep, yep, rabbit, rabbit, bunny, yep, jabber, rabbit.
Today on the show I have one half of a famous vocal group, Chas and Dave. I have Chas Hodges. How are we doing, Chas?
I'm doing great.
Good. You're sounding great voice.
Yeah, excellent, yeah.
I was looking you up a little while ago, and I can't believe that the work you did before you were with Chas and Dave.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't realise that, but they did a nice documentary on BBC 4, and they went all through my career. Yeah. I mean, right through the early days when I was with Mick Burt and the Outlaws, and then touring as Jerry Lee Lewis's bass player. Wow. Then with Gene Vincent, and then I joined Cliff Bennett and the Rebel Rousers, toured with the Beatles, Heads, Hands and Feet with Albert Lee. Yeah, quite a bit. I knew Dave for a good 8 or 9 years before we decided to get together. Yeah. All that time, I was doing all that.
There must have been some great stories with Jerry Lee Lewis and Gene Vincent and all those.
Yeah, I wrote my autobiography, and the original one was Chas before Dave. All the stuff I've done up until me and Dave got together, and then the Chas and Dave story. It's all out on a book titled All About Us, the Chas and Dave story. So yeah, there's some. I enjoyed writing that.
Good old advert for that. I mean, I must admit, I was privileged to see Cliff Bennett last year, and he's still a fabulous act.
Yeah, I did a gig with him every now and again. I do a gig aside from Chas and Dave, which I enjoy. I go out Chas and his band, and I did a gig just on my own at the Borderline in London. It was a Joe Meek, because I was with Joe Meek in the early days. And it was a Joe Meek with like a remembrance of all the acts that are still around that recorded Joe Meek's. Cliff Bennett being one of them. So me and Cliff were together, just about a couple of months ago.
That's great. I mean, because you played the piano on the Rockers, which is with Roy Wood and Phil Lynott, and unbelievable.
That's right. Yeah. I become a friend of Roy Woods years ago. When I think I first met him when I was with Cliff Bennett and the Rebel Rousers. I did actually, when he was with The Move.
Yeah, I remember that. Fun enough, that was the first record that was played on Radio 1, and I think he's probably still living on the royalties for that. That and Wizards' Merry Christmas, everyone.
I think that was Flowers in the Rain, wasn't it?
Flowers in the Rain, yeah.
Funny enough, you saying that, Roy told me, I don't know if you know the story, when there was they had a bit of something happened with Harold Wilson.
No.
Give all the royalties away, so he don't get no royalties.
He don't? That. Oh, no. Well, he's getting
Flowers in the Rain. I think it was that one.
Yeah. Well, he's getting plenty from Wizard anyhow, so...
Yeah, he's doing all right, Roy, yeah.
Yeah. Is it true you learnt the piano by watching Jerry Lee Lewis?
Yeah, I'd started to learn before that. I was a bass player. Mm-hmm. Started to learn. My mum played piano, so by watching her, she showed me a couple of bits. And I made a start on the piano, but when I was on tour with Jerry Lee Lewis, just watching him every night, and I used to try it out. As soon as the gig had finished, I'd jump on the piano and think, oh, that's how he does that bit. So, yeah. I mean, I always quote that Jerry Lee taught me the piano, which he did, but he didn't really know he was. It was just me watching him every night, and it was, what a great teacher.
Well, he's a shabby pianist, really, and I'm joking. I'm a big fan of the old rock and roll era. My dad brought me up on it, and I love all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, he is. A lot of people don't realise what a good piano player he is, actually.
Oh, he's still touring, isn't he? He's still around.
Yeah, he is.
So, I don't know if you want to talk about this, the famous Tottenham Hotspurs.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I know everybody asks you it,
but I don't really know too much what's going on, to be honest. But yeah, I was born a Spurs fan. I was born right almost outside the ground. So yeah, in those days, you supported the team that was local to you.
Yeah. Well, you don't live there now. I know. I'm not going to give too much away, but you live in Hertfordshire now.
Yeah, I live just outside Stevenage.
All right, well, you've said it, I didn't say anything. But yeah, I must admit, I'm a Spurs fan, and I remember you from the great days with Ozzy's Dream and all that, and the sort of glory years of Tottenham. Shall we say no more than that now? We'll perhaps pass along on that bit, shall we? Anyhow, you're back on the road again, because a couple of years ago you decided you were going to sort of retire, or you and Chas were going to you and Dave were going to retire. No,
I didn't. I've never decided to retire. I'm never going to retire.
You're not. You're going to keel over like Tommy Cooper did, are you?
Well, no. I'm going to live forever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, that's good.
I'm going to be the first one.
But you and
Dave packed up when his dear wife died in 2009, and he packed up. I carried on Chas in his band, and I still do the odd gig job. I did one last Saturday, funny enough, for charity. Chas in his band. An old place where my mum used to play in Edmonton for Water Aid. Yeah, so I'll carry on all the time. But yeah, Dave, as time's gone on, he's felt a bit easier, and he's come back to do a few gigs. So it all works well together. Yeah,
because you're back and you're doing a few gigs in the area. We'll talk about those in a little while.
Yeah.
You work. You did the charity single for the Premier League darts.
That's right. Yeah, Barry Hearn, who I met years ago when we did Snooker Loopy, he rang me up and said, he said, let's have a meeting somewhere. He said, I've got an idea. He said, I now manage all these darts players. And to cut a long story short, I wrote this song. Got my ticket for the darts. Got my ticket for the darts. Yeah, done all right. And the royalties for it is for the Children's Hospice in Woodford. Go to them. So yeah, it's fun doing that.
So which is your passion, the darts or the snooker?
Neither. I like the music that we did for it.
Because there's an old myth going around that you were involved in the Fools and Horses theme tune. Well, that's not true, is it?
Yeah, it is. There is truth in it.
Oh, is it? Okay.
John Sullivan originally wanted us to do it, to do the music for it. And at the time we were in Australia, Ain't No Pleasing You was number one, and just everything was happening. And in those days, I mean, today you could just sort of like through the internet, you can go in anywhere and just record it. You know, it's like. But in those days, the communication was not so easy. So yeah, but basically we said we'd do it if we could write it, but it was already written, so that was the main reason we didn't do it.
But certainly, I mean, it's John himself singing on it, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he did.
But he's done it in your
style. We got to know John later on, and he became a good friend. And we actually did do a version on it, which was shown on Capitol Gold.
Okay.
And he rang me up after. He said, "That's the way it should have been done all them years ago." Well done. So, but we actually did on one of the Jolly Boys outing. One of the shows, Falls on Horses, he did Margate. And he wanted to use a record. I said, better than that, what if I'll take Del Boy and Rodney into the studio and they can do a bit as well. So Del Boy and Rodney come into the studio with me and Dave and did a little bit in the chorus. So yeah, we did a special version for them.
That must have been great. I mean,
it was, yeah.
It's an iconic show, isn't it? You know, it's one of those shows that's going to run and, you know, repeats. It's going to run and run and run, isn't it?
Yeah, it just got bigger and bigger, isn't it?
It has. I met a guy. I was cruising last year in Hawaii, and I met this Serbian waiter, and he realised I was English, and he said to me, "Lovely jubbly," and apparently it's absolutely monstrous out there. It's absolutely huge.
That's how it travels, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you not last year. It was 2010. You did an album with Vince Eager.
That's right. Yeah, I played on a few tracks. Yeah, he's an old mate from years ago, and. Yeah, he rang me up and he said I'm doing an album. So I went down to it's Western Star Studios in Bristol, and it was such a great studio. I went back there about a year later and I did a solo album, and it were all tracks from like people that I've worked with over the years. Well, Together We Made Music, I called it, and people like Cliff Richard and Jerry Lee Lewis and Gene Vincent. I've done songs like in tribute to them. So that was through Vince Eager. Yeah, I got to know that studio.
And you've also was it this year you hosted with Ocean Colour Scene, Simon Fowler's new band? That's
right. Yeah, he's one of the boys in the band. His dad was Dave Seeley, who we worked with years ago. He done it because they're big fans of Harry Champion like us. So yeah, that's the connection there.
So. What would you say your people who've never heard one of your songs? There's probably not many people around. What would you sort of say your style is?
Well, it's honest. For a start, it comes. I mean, before I even got together with Dave, the style came from. I was singing in an American accent, like most people do and still do. But it was when I was in America with Heads, Hands and Feet, and I'm singing in an American accent to Americans, and I thought, I feel a fraud. I've got to start singing. I've got to start singing in my own accent. And that was the start of the Rock Me style. So it's honest. I was starting to write songs about things that I knew and singing in my own accent. And when I came back from America, that's when I said to Dave, I said, look, I'm ready to go on piano as my main instrument. And I got an idea about writing songs about singing in my own accent, and that me and you get together. And he had a little thing, and we did. So this honesty, and it's good entertainment, and we pride ourselves on being good musicians. So it's it can last forever, which it has. Yeah,
I mean, it's 1975 was it you got together?
Yeah, a little bit before that.
Okay.
72, I think it was.
72. By goodness. I mean, and it's one of those, because you've gone from the 70s through to the 80s through to the 90s, and the styles, not your style of music, but the styles of music. In the 70s it was the glam rock era, and then we had the last remnant bits of the punk, and then we moved into like the sort of like Spandau Ballet and all that sort of stuff, in the 80s and the electro music. And you've sort of managed to survive with all of those different things, and your music is still as popular as ever.
Well, we've never been fashionable or unfashionable. I mean, fashion is never a thing of mine anyway. No. I mean, you could liken us, I don't know, to pie and mash if you like. Like, if it's good, it'll go on forever. Or fish and chips, it's there forever if it's good. So that's the same as our music. We've never gone with the trends.
Now there's a word that I don't understand. I hear it every day from my old man. It may be Cockney rhyme and slang. It ain't in no school book. He says it every time that he gets mad. A regular caution is by on dead. Rub the old man up the wrong way, but you love your lyrics say. YouTube cow son, Ritchie. When the kids are swinging on the gate. When the paper boys half an hour late. When the pigeons are pecking at his seeds. When the barber starts digging up his beans. YouTube cow son. YouTube bar still preaching. That's the old man's game. Now the old man was a desert rat. Cocky shorts and a cocky hat. How me mother could have fancied that, I just don't know. But when the enemy came in sight, they gave up without a fight. 'Cause they rubbed him up the wrong way. This is what they heard him say. You cow son, when me rock and roll records wake him up. When the Poles knock England out the cup. When the kids are banging on his door. When the farmer won't serve him anymore. You cow son. You bar still preaching. He's always been the same. Hey! You cow son, when the dogs left a message on the step. Lester Piggott, when he lost it by a neck. When me brother kicks his toes out of his shoe. When the house flies are flying round his food. You cow son. You bar still preaching. He's always been the same. You when me mother says he can't go down the pub. Sister's boyfriend put his sister up the club. Them Tomcats when they're kicking up a din. Tottenham Hotspur couldn't get one in. When me mother locks him out the flat. When it's raining and he can't find his hat. In the mornings when his motor car won't go. Next door neighbour when he won't give him a toe.
This is Seclo Sounds, and you can listen to us by clicking Listen Live on our homepage at seclosounds.org for a choice of players. Via TuneIn Radio at www.tunein.com, search for Seclo Sounds and listen online or download the TuneIn app. You can download the Seclo Sounds iPhone app from the iTunes App Store, and you can listen to us on demand at our replay page.
Mother phoned up last night, she was going spare. She was in a temper, pulling at her hair. Your sister's fault in a scruffy look, he said. Father, don't give a monkey, and that was what he said. I don't care, I don't care, I don't care if he comes round here. I've got my beer in a sideboard here, let mother sort it out if he comes round here. I said to me, mother, let me have a talk to dad, so he comes to the telephone. He wasn't all past, says she's got no sense, silly little cow, and if he comes round here, there's gonna be a row. I don't care, I don't care, I don't care if he comes round here. I've got my beer in a sideboard here, let mother sort it out if he comes round here. I'll tell you something else, I know he's never got a job. He hangs around the betting shop, a lazy little yop. Mother says, calm down, Dad, he's alright. But they're out there snogging in the passage all night. I don't care, I don't care, I don't care if he comes round here. I've got my beer in the sideboard. like something that the cat's brought in. Never got no money, smokes all my fares, got holes in his soles and he's hanging in red. On top of that, he said, I tell you why I got the ump, she had a skinny little belly, now it's sticking out the front. There's nothing seems to fit her, she's running out of clothes, and if he's been taking liberties to punch him on the nose. But I don't care, I don't care, I don't care if he comes round here. I got my beer in the sideboard here, let mama sort it out if he comes round here, if he comes round here. I got my beer, let mama sort it out in the sideboard here. I got my beer, let mama sort it out. I don't care if he comes round here. I don't care if he comes round here. Sideboard here, I've got my beer, let mama sort it out if he comes round here. I don't care, I don't care, I don't care if he comes round here. Sideboard here, I've got my beer, let mama sort it out if he comes round here. I don't care, I don't care, I don't care if he comes round here. Got my beer in the sideboard here, let mama sort it out if he comes round here. If he comes round here, I got my beer, let mama sort it out in the sideboard here. Got my beer, let mama sort it out. I don't care if he comes round here. If he comes round here, I don't care, I don't care if he comes round here. I've got my beer in the sideboard here, let mama sort it out if he comes round here. I don't care, I don't care, I don't care if he comes round here. I've got my beer in the sideboard here, let mama sort it out if he comes round here. If he comes round here, I got my beer, let mama sort it out in the sideboard here. I've got my beer, let mama sort it out. I don't care if he comes round here. I don't care, I don't care if he comes round here. If he comes round here.
Got a strong affection with English musical.
Yeah, I mean, I was brought up with my mum playing the piano, my Uncle Alf singing all Harry Champion songs, and that was one of the things that me and Dave had in common when I first met him, years before we got together. Not only did we like rock and roll and blues and Big Bill Broomsby and people like that, we also liked, and it was quite unusual for people of our age, like things like Harry Champion, like boiled beef and carrots, and Dave liked Gus Elan, and, you know, we had an affinity there. So, yeah, I'm very interested in that. I did a thing, actually, at Wilton's Music Hall with my daughter Kate, just nearly about 7 or 8 months ago. That was great. Wilton's Music Hall in London. I've definitely been there. It's fantastic.
Never know. I mean, is your daughter in the music business then?
Yeah, she plays, she writes, Kate Garner, she's married. She plays piano and writes great songs and sings.
So the musical heritage in your household is going to continue for a few years yet to come then?
Yeah, oh yeah. It's just sort of the way of life to us.
Yeah.
It's like eating and drinking and sleeping. It's music. It just sort of comes natural.
So it's good and noisy in the house when you all get together?
Yeah, we make a row, yeah.
I mean, whose idea? I mean, you said you knew Dave for many years before you actually got together. Whose idea was it, to join up and become Chas and Dave?
Well, what I just said is when I came back from America with Heads and Feet, and I rang Dave up and I said, look, it's sort of something that's been gradually happening, but it really dawned on me when I toured America about changing, about not singing in an American accent and writing about things that I know about and about me, and I'm ready to go on the piano, which is my main instrument, rather than bass, because me and Dave were both bass players. And I rang him up. We had to get together in a pub, and he had a little think about it, and that was the start of Chas and Dave. Yeah.
You didn't have an alternate name or anything for the band?
There was, funny enough. It was... someone suggested Rag and Bone. That was one of them.
But at least everybody remembers your name. Your Chas is Dave. It's not.
Yeah, it would. We had so many different names. But in the meantime, we were doing gigs, and it was just getting about. Like they were putting up signs in the pub. Chas and Dave here on Friday. So we thought, oh well, that's it. We'll stick to our names.
Yeah, because you recorded the first album, Fling and Ever. In '75, and the likes of John Peel were claiming it. That must have been...
one thing and another. Yeah, I remember he played it and he loved it, and he said the only thing is, he said, I don't know who it's going to appeal to. He said it'd be scrap metal dealers with A levels. That was his wording.
I mean, you're also influenced by, or you're also sort of championed by George Gillette.
Who?
Charlie Gillette.
Charlie Gillett, yeah.
Charlie Gillett. I can't even read my own writing. It's terrible.
Yeah, Charlie Gillett, he was a great pioneer of Chas and Dave stuff. We got a great mate, I still my best mate as well as Dave, Terry Adams, is a taxi driver, and he got the album, and it was at the time when Charlie Gillett on a Sunday morning used to have, it was a great radio show for London, Honky Tonk. Everybody listened to it, all the bands listened to it. He used to plug all the bands, what was happening around London. It's really a shame they ain't got something like that now, because everybody knew about it, and he used to plug us, and we got our early fans coming to see us in London. I remember the King's Head Theatre in Islington we played, and people would come and say, I heard you on Charlie Gillett. And, that Terry, the taxi driver, took the album round to Charlie, and he dropped it off to him, and that's how that was how we got started, like getting songs played on the radio.
Well, I mean, I think your first top 20 hit was linked to a beer commercial, is that correct?
Well, Gertrude, we've been doing Gertrude for quite a while on stage. We recorded it earlier on that album, that One Thing and Another album. One of the gigs we was doing was a pub called the Oxford Arms in North London. And the people there come up after and said, we're from an advertising agency. We like that Gertrude. We'd like to use it for a beer advert. So we gave them the number of our agent, and we didn't think no more of it like you do. You just give them a number, then carry on. But they came up with it. Yeah. And we finally went in the studio, and they put the commercial out. But we had to get it in that to be 28.5 seconds. The original version of Gertrude was quite slow. We had to really speed it up to get it in, but it was the better for it. So when it came to put the single out, EMI were going to put the old version out, but I said, no, we've got to re-record it like the advert, which we did. And as I say, it was much better for it. But that was, that got in the top 20 in 1979. That was first top 20 hit.
I remember it well. And you got to think about beer, because the second single was the sideboard song, Got My Beer on the Sideboard Here.
Yeah, sort of, because of it, I suppose... I can't remember if we wrote that before the Courage Best Adverts, but I suppose that might have had a knock-on effect, and we did that one because they used that for one of their ads as well. I
remember both well. I'll talk to you a little bit later about what your favourite song is, but I think the two songs that probably people remember, or one of the songs I remember, is the Rabbit song.
If we go on stage and miss out any of them, they shout out like Rabbit, Out of Margate, Snooker Loopy. If I had to pick my all-time favourite, if I had to just pick one, like as they say on the old Desert Island disc, would be Ain't No Pleasing You.
Do you know what? I was just going to come to that one. That is so different from all the other ones, and it's like a ballad, isn't it?
Yeah.
What was the thinking behind that one? Because that's so different.
Well, that was an idea that I hadn't thought of the song, but when I was in America, I remember started sketching out ideas in my head about the way forward for me. And the first one was to get in touch with Dave when I got back from America. But I remember thinking, there's never been, for want of a better way of explaining, a Cockney song. And I love, things like Rabbit and Gertrude, a little bit of fun. But there's never been a serious one. And I thought, I've got to do one. I've got to write a serious Cockney song that people take seriously. And as far as I know, there's never, ever been one. No. Well, Ain't No Pleasing You is an actual serious song. So, that was a bit of an achievement as far as I was concerned.
So are you the songwriter in the duo?
I wrote, some of them we've collaborated, like Rabbit we collaborated, Gertrude we collaborated. Ain't No Pleasing You, I wrote myself, like with Dave's approval, you know what I mean? I'd write something and then go, what do you think of that? Some of them are collaborations and some completely I've written myself.
Yeah, because they sound actually like... as if they were like Gertrude, and Rabbit, and they all sound like covers. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I know you've made them your own, but they don't sound like original songs. You think, I've heard that before somewhere.
Well, that's a sort of a compliment. I remember when we met talking to Ringo Starr, and he said exactly that. He said, you got a knack of thinking that you've heard your songs before somewhere.
Yeah, it was meant as a compliment for me, so, I wasn't... being nasty. I was meant as a nice compliment.
I think that's good. I think that helps. I mean, I've heard Beatles, when I've heard Beatles stuff, they're very, you soon forget what it reminds you of, but sometimes when their first records come out, I think, hang on, they've got a little spark of something. But the more you hear their version, it goes from you. But I think that's, if you subconsciously, something in the past might influence you, but you don't know what it is. And I think that's, for a commercial song, that's a good thing to have.
Yeah, it's because it's a bit like some of the songs. I mean, they call it earwigs or something. And you wake up in the morning, you hear a song on the radio first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
And it can be the most annoying song in the world, but all day you're humming it, aren't you?
Yeah, well, that was the basis of the Diddlum song.
Yeah.
Have you heard the Diddlum song?
Yeah, which was they used in the Heinz Bean commercial, wasn't it?
Yeah, on the Beans one, that's right.
Yeah.
You're dead right, yeah. Well, that was the idea of that, this song keeps going round my head and I can't think what it's called and anybody know what it's called. All I know is it goes, die, diddly bum, die. So, yeah, that's the idea behind that.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a perfect example of a collaboration between me and Dave. He came round one day and he went, look, he said, I've been messing about with my 8-track. And he said, have a listen to this. And it was that, because we got it off an old musical thing, the idea. And it was just die, diddly bum, with like an harmony on it. And I went, yeah, that's good. He went, yeah. But he said, we can't do nothing about it, can we? Where are we going to go from there? Now, he would have dropped it, but I went, hang on, this is too good. Let's have a think about this. And that's when I had to think and come up with the idea. I said, how about exactly that? It's a bloke, he's heard a song on the radio and don't know what it's called. All he knows is this bit, and he's going round asking people, and he never finds out. And that's how it come about.
Because you're celebrating this year. You're celebrating 50 years.
It will be 60 years of when we first met.
Yeah.
Together. We met in 1963 when I was thumbing a lift home from my girlfriend's, who's now my wife Joan. I was on tour with Julie Lewis at the time. And anyway, I was thumbing a lift home, missed the last bus, and the car pulled up, and it was an old schoolmate, Brian Juniper. And he was in the band, and he said, this is my bass player in the back. So that's how I met Dave.
Because you've just sort of released a new album, haven't you? Or recorded a new album.
Yeah, me and Dave did last year, yeah.
Last year. It's the first brand new studio album, isn't it?
It's the first studio, I think, 18 years, I think, me and Dave's first studio album.
And,
I've done a couple of solo albums since, but it's our first studio album together.
Yeah.
For 18 years.
And it was recorded at a shabby old studio in Abbey Road, wasn't it, with the Beatles?
Yeah, well, I've recorded, it had a lot of memories from me, because I recorded there before the Beatles, when I was with the Outlaws, I'd done sessions there, and when I was with Cliff Bennett and the Rebel Rousers, Paul McCartney produced Got to Get You Into My Life there for Cliff Bennett and the Rebel Rousers. So, yeah, I had a lot. When they asked, what studio do you want to do it in, that was the first one. Mind you, there ain't a lot of studios left anyway.
No.
But that was a great week. We just had a great week. And Joe Henry, American producer, produced it. And we really enjoyed it. And, yeah, we were pleased with the results.
Because you had some special guests on, didn't you? Some on the album.
Yeah, we got our old mate Albert Lee on guitar. Jerry Allison, who's Buddy Holly's old drummer, and I've done an album. Me and him did an album together 2 or 3 years ago. So we got him on. Who else? Well, Martin Taylor, guitar player, great guitar player. We had him on at the Albert Hall last month with us.
Okay. And
did you know we did the Albert Hall?
No, I didn't. You did the Albert Hall.
We sold it out.
Unbelievable.
Last April, 25th of April.
Can't be bad, can it?
Yeah, and we were just us, and he wasn't billed, but we brought Martin Taylor on in the middle, did a nice acoustic set. Right. But yeah, I mean, all the things we've done in that, I think right at this moment, that's the best.
I was going to ask you about the hype.
They just couldn't stop dancing. Yeah. And the people that run the Albert Hall, this woman, she said, I've never seen nothing like it here. And for her to say that, she said, I've been here 25 years.
So would you say that's the highlight of your career so far?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's loads of them of like going back to the early days when I first was on the road with Jerry Lee Lewis, and then when we did Glastonbury, then This Is Your Life with Eamon Andrews.
Wow.
But right at this minute, I'd go Albert Hall. Yeah, in fact, we're doing it. We're doing the Indigo O2 this Christmas. We're going to book the Albert Hall next Christmas for Chas and Dave's Christmas
So that's 2006. So it'll be 2016, would that be?
Yeah.
People better get their tickets booked for that, and they
Yeah. Because this one sold out pretty quick as well.
Yeah, well, that's great. I mean, it's great news. That must be great for you as well. Must give you a great buzz.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely, you know. I mean, you go... Apart from the actual enjoyment of it, we got all the old brass players back. All the original ones that was on our albums. 4 of them. Just getting all your mates there and then a complete sellout. It's another... Well, as you know, so... It's another thing to say. If anybody don't know us, I said that to Dave. And it's funny, someone come over from Japan or America and said, Chas and Dave, you've only got to say, well, they sold out the Albert Hall. They go, they've got a good idea of how popular you are. Yeah, pretty old shabby band. Any shabby band can't sell out the old Albert Hall, so that's pretty good. Okay, let's take a break there. We'll play 3 in a row from the great Chas and Dave before we rejoin Chas Hodges. Let's start off with Diddle Dum Song, then we're going to have Margate, and then we're going to have the fabulous Snooker Loopy.
Now here's a little town that I got for ya, about something that happened to me a couple of months ago. Now let me tell you all about it. Now I don't wanna bore ya. What's it all about? Well, it all started out 'cause I turned on the radio. Well, it's all about a tune that I heard one morning. It was a record some DJ played as I laid in bed. Didn't hear what he said as I lay there yawning. Not before too long, that catchy little song was going round and round my head. And it went die-die, diddly-bum, diddly-bum-a-dino, bye, diddly-am-a-dum-a, diddly-am-a-day, diddly-i-di, diddly-i, dibba-dum-a-dino, whoop, diddly-am-a-dum-a, diddly-am-a-day, oh, diddly-bum-a, 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 diddly-bum-a-day, dee-dum, diddly-bo-be-dum-be-dino, whoop, diddly-whoop, whoop, diddly-bum-a-day. Well, I jumped out of bed, pulled on my trousers, with the tune on my mind all the time going round my head. Jumped in my car, drove round around the houses, till I found a record shop, so I stopped at the shop, popped up, popped in and said, have you heard this song? I asked the girl behind the counter, I can hum a line or two, that's all I can do now, miss. I don't know what it's called, but I bet you're bound to. It must be a hit, but the only little bit I know of it goes like this. And it goes die-die, diddly-bum, diddly-bum-a-dino, bye, diddly-am-a-dum-a, diddly-am-a-day, diddly-i-di, diddly-i, dibba-dum-a-dino, whoop, diddly-am-a-dum-a, diddly-am-a-day, oh, diddly-bum-a, 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 diddly-bum-a-day, dee-dum, biddly-bo, dee-dum-be-dino, whoop, diddly-whoop, whoop, diddly-bum-a-day. Well, the girl couldn't help, she needed more information, so I rang up the DJ, but he said the same. So I asked the bloke next door and all of my relations, but they couldn't help at all, nobody could recall this tune going round my brain. To cut a long story short, I always said I hadn't heard of it. Everybody I asked never knew what I was talking about, and it's driving me balmy, I can't think of a word of it. The only thing I know I'll sing before I go, perhaps you can help me out. It goes die-die, diddly-bum, diddly-bum-a-dino, bye, diddly-am-a-dum-a, diddly-am-a-day, diddly-i-di, diddly-i, dibba-dum-a-dino, whoop, diddly-am-a-dum-a, diddly-am-a-day, oh, diddly-bum-a, 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 diddly-bum-a-day, dee-dum, diddly-bo, dee-dum-be-dino, whoop, diddly-whoop, whoop, diddly-bum-a-day. And it goes die-die, diddly-bum, diddly-bum-a-dino, bye, diddly-am-a-dum-a, diddly-am-a-day, diddly-i-di, diddly-i, dibba-dum-a-dino, whoop, diddly-am-a-dum-a, diddly-am-a-day, oh, diddly-bum-a, 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 diddly-bum-a-day, dee-dum, billy-bo, dee-dum-be-dino, whoop, 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 diddly-bum-a-dino, dee-boo-dee-bum, boo-dum, billy-bum, whoop, diddly-whoop, whoop, diddly-bum-a-day.
MK Flyers Online, the fast and simple way to find any kind of business or service locally. Find us at mkflyersonline.co.uk or download the MK Flyers mobile app from your app store. MK Flyers Online proudly supports Seclo Sounds, community radio for Milton Keynes.
Seclo Sounds is the community radio station for Milton Keynes, producing a variety of programmes covering music, health, business, sports, faith, the arts, entertainment and much more. For more information about our programmes, visit the programme and schedule pages of our website, seclosounds.org, as well as our replay page to hear what these programmes have to offer.
Well, I've been working hard to reach my target. Do one of you both for a day trip down to Margate? I'm gonna blow the lot tomorrow on all my family. We catch the coach at 8, so don't be late. We're off to see the sea. Hurry up, will your granddad? Come on, we go down to Margate. Don't forget your buckets of spades and codgers and all. Down to Margate, we'll have a field of jelly dogs and the cockles all. Down to Margate, we go on the pier and we'll have a beer aside of the sea. Down to Margate, you can keep the Costa Brava. I'm telling you, mate, I'd rather have a day down Margate with all my family. Along the promenade we spend some money. Then we find a spot on the beach that's it for sunny. The kids will all enjoy themselves digging up the sand, collecting stones and winkle shells to take back under land. Behave yourself, granddad, or you won't be going down to Margate. Don't forget your buckets of spades and codgers and all. Down to Margate, we'll have a fill of jelly dogs at the cockle store. Down to Margate, we go on the pier and we'll have a beer aside of the sea. Down to Margate, you can keep the Costa Brava. I'm telling you, mate, I'd rather have a day down Margate with all my family. You can keep the Costa Brava and all that palaver gonna bother me. I'd rather have a day down Margate with all my family. Snooker, loopy, nuts are we, me and him and them and me. We'll show you what we can do with a load of balls and a snooker cue. Pop the reds then, screw back for the yellow, green, brown, blue, pink and black. Snooker, loopy, nuts are we, we're all snooker, loopy. Now old me-o, we all know's got loads of dapper suits. London bred and he keeps his head, though he's got Italian roots. Emotional and he keeps his cool till he reaches the finals. Then whether he wins or whether he don't, I always pipe me eyeballs. But our friend then, how's he spend down the snooker hall? On the old green baize, mates see the maze with his skills with a snooker ball. But them long shots he never ever got. Why the old mind boggles? But nowadays he pots a lot, 'cause I wear these goggles. Snooker, loopy, nuts are we, me and him and them and me. We'll show you what we can do with a load of balls and a snooker cue. Pop the reds then, screw back for the yellow, green, brown, blue, pink and black. Snooker, loopy, nuts are we, we're all snooker, loopy. Now Terry the Taff was born in a gaff in the valleys of the land of song. And as the Reds he puts to bed, he likes to sing along. If I win, he says with a grin, it can only help me, can't it? I'll celebrate, I buy another eight.
Her brushes for me bonnet,
When the light shines down on his bare crown, it's a certainty he's gonna walk it. It's just not fair giving off that glare.
Perhaps I ought to chalk it.
Snooker loopy nuts are we, me and him and them and me. We'll show you what we can do with a load of balls and a snooker cue. Pop the reds then, screw back for the yellow, green, brown, blue, pink and black. Snooker loopy nuts are we, we're all snooker loopy. Steve last year come very near to winning the snooker crown, but he never got to put it on his ginger nut, cause the black ball wouldn't go down. His manager and all said, that ball, but it helped him make his mind up. Now he don't care who wins this year,
Cause he's got the rest of us signed up.
snooker loopy nuts are we, me and him and them and me. We'll show you what we can do with a load of balls and a snooker cue. Pop the reds then, screw back for the yellow, green, brown, blue, pink and black. Snooker loopy nuts are we, we're all snooker loopy. Snooker loopy nuts are we, me and him and them and me. We'll show you what we can do with a load of balls and a snooker cue. Pop the reds then, screw back for the yellow, green, brown, blue, pink and black. Snooker loopy nuts are we, we're all snooker loopy. Snooker loopy nuts are we, we're all snooker loopy. Snooker loopy nuts are we, we're all snooker loopy.
I mean, you've worked with a lot of people. Is there anybody you'd like to have worked with, or you've never worked with?
Well, I'd like to, and I've done bits and pieces with him over the years. It's Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
I think we'd do a great album together. Really would.
Well, you playing the piano and him singing, or him?
Well, bit of everything, because you know he's quite a good acoustic guitar player. Just a bit of a changing around with ideas, and we'd make a great album together. I know we would, because I know he's a Chas and Dave fan.
Is he?
And he always comments on, you know, if I send him the latest album. And I've always promised not to say, oh, Paul likes this one or whatever, you know what I mean? It's a personal thing.
Yeah.
But he always gets back and go, oh, you know, I think this is my favourite one, all that. We would make a great album together.
Yeah, that's great. Is there anything you'd like, any sort of unfulfilled ambitions, anything you'd like to have done?
No, I can't think. You know, it's like I enjoy music. I mean, right at this minute, when I put the phone down, I'm writing a Christmas song.
Are you really?
Yeah. So that's my next exciting thing doing. I'm sort of, you know, just sorting out. I've got half some of the lyrics done and some of the I ain't decided on the chorus yet, but. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a good Christmas record that comes out every year. You know, what I mean? Like
Boywood and Slade.
Yeah, that'd be a nice thing that we ain't done.
Yeah.
Sort of like every year you get a particular, you know, like old Noddy Holders or Boywood always come up every year. It'd be nice to have one of them. You know, here's Chas and Dave's Christmas record.
Be great pension for you. Who do you sort of listen to at home if you got the radio on or the CD on? Who do you listen to yourself?
Well, my radio listening is I listen to Radio 4 Extra. There's loads of old reruns of Hancock's Half Hours and Steptoes and things like that on it.
You enjoy the comedy rather than listening to other people's music then, do you?
But on me, I got a jukebox. I had an ordinary jukebox that had 45s on it, but it kept going wrong. I bought, about 4 or 5 years ago, a CD jukebox. It looks like the old, well, it is a Rockola. It looks, you know, great with all the stars and stripes and lights and that, but I've got CDs on it. One good thing is I know where all my CDs are at last. So that's great. So it takes 100 CDs, but that's full up with. I've got all my rock and roll stuff on there, of course. Shirley Lewis, Little Richard, Fats Domino, old Benny Goodman stuff, Les Paul. I mean, most of it is stuff like that. Les Paul, Big Bill Broomsey, Fats Waller. I've just got my mate Terry Adams, the taxi driver. I just said, I ain't got any Elvis on there. Some early Elvis. He's just got me a three CD box set of Elvis. I just bung that on there. Yeah, it's a mixture, but mainly old stuff.
Yeah. So you mentioned you're not really a darts man and not a snooker man. What do you do when you're not working?
Well, my passion question is, I've got an allotment. I've grown my own stuff.
Really?
And I've written a book about it. That's doing all right. I know Chas and his rock and roll allotment. In fact, if it ain't raining too much, after I've done a bit of work on my Christmas song, I'm going to go around the allotment. But yeah, I love that. It works well with music. I mean, especially when you're writing and you've been sitting there for a couple of hours and you enjoy what you've done, but it can sort of give you a little bit of a thick head. So just to get out in the air and do a bit of digging or weeding or sewing or whatever, it just blows all the cobwebs away, and it works great alongside music.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I must admit, it's not my thing. I'm not a great gardener. I'll be perfectly honest with you. But everybody to their own. Anyhow, we're almost out of time. Let's just run through the sort of 3 dates where people can see you in the area. It's Saturday, the 13th of September. You're at the Watford Coliseum.
Yeah.
Then on Thursday in October, the 16th, you're at the Bedford Corn Exchange.
Yeah.
And then Thursday, November the 20th, you're at the Aylesbury Waterside.
Yeah.
But
they're good gigs. Done all them before. They're really good.
Yeah, Watford. There's some great. I mean, Bedford Coliseum, Bedford Corn Exchange has a great heritage of music. Goes back as far as Glenn Miller, doesn't it? And people like that.
Yeah, that was his last gig he ever done, wasn't it?
Apparently so. Yeah. So I mean, I wasn't around at the time, but I understand that's what was true. Yeah. So anyhow, thank you very much for your time today,
Okay,
Chas.
you're welcome. Enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Never cared about me, now I've seen the light. Oh darling, there ain't no pleasing you. You seem to think that everything I ever did was wrong. I should have known it all along. Oh darling, there ain't no pleasing you. What you wanna do, I'm telling you, 'cause I ain't gonna be made to look a fool no more. You've done it once too often, what do you take me for? Oh darling, there ain't no pleasing you. And you seem to think that everything I ever did was wrong. I should have known it all along, that darling, there ain't no pleasing you. You only had to and I'm telling you that for nothing. Oh, darling, I'm leaving. That's what I'm gonna do.
There we are, that's Ain't No Pleasing You from Chas and Dave. What an interesting man Chas is. The people he's played with, his hobbies. It just goes to show there's a lot more sometimes to the people behind the music. Now, next week on the show I have two guests, one from the 70s, one from the 80s. Joining me on the show next week I have Eddie Amu from Liverpool, and he's the singer with the fabulous 70s band The Real Thing, so I'll be playing some of their tracks. Also joining me on the show next week, an 80s legend as well. We have none other than Nik Kershaw, so we'll be playing some of his music. So if you're a fan of either The Real Thing or Nik Kershaw, or just 70s or 80s music, join me next week on the show. Anyway, as always, I've been Terry Sullivan. This has been the Sticks Radio Show. Until next week, it's bye for now, and I leave you with Chas and Dave's theme tune to the classic comedy show In Sickness and in Health.
When we got married, I took the marriage vows. In sickness and in health, I said I'll do. For richer, for poorer, till death us do part. And you said that you'll honour and obey me too. But it wasn't very long before I soon found out the one who wore the trousers was you. Now after all these years at last I'm pushing you about. But in sickness and in health I said I'll do. When we was courting, you used to say to me, my darling, I can't wait until we win. I'll line all your trousers, sew buttons on your shirts. I'll think the world of you, that's what you said. But it wasn't very long before you changed your tune. Phone all day and night is all you do. Me dinner's always burnt when I come home from up the pub. But in sickness and in health I love you. In sickness and in health I said I'll do. In sickness and in health I said I'll do. For richer, for poorer, till death us do part. And you said that you'll honour and obey me too. But it wasn't very long before I soon found out the one who wore the trousers was you. Now after all these years at last I'm pushing you about. But in sickness and in health I love you. In sickness and in health I said I'll do.
Gary Fitz here, every Monday, 10 o'clock.
Coming up, we've got Eric and Ernie.
Join me here on Seclo Sounds.
In your smile.
It's from 1975, Eric and Ernie were four...
Gary, it's not Eric and Ernie, it's Earl and Ernie, you know, the Cape Brothers, Union Man.
Oh, I see. Gary Fitz here, every Monday, 10 o'clock.
Earl and Ernie.
You're listening to Seclo Sounds. If you'd like to contact us, then send an email to radio@seclosounds.org, tweet us at Seclo Sounds, or Facebook us at Seclo Sounds Radio. This is Seclo Sounds, your community radio station. If you'd like to volunteer some of your time and skills with Seclo Sounds, send an email to volunteers@seclosounds.org and let us know how you would like to be involved.
MK Pulse proudly sponsors Seclo Sounds. MK Pulse is Milton Keynes' local magazine, bringing helpful information on food, health, fashion, money, travel, culture, and much more to 66,000 readers every month. Plus news, views, and what's on from around the city. If it's happening in Milton Keynes, it's in MK Pulse, and it's available online at www.mkpulse.co.uk. MK Pulse and Seclo Sounds, the heart and soul of the city.